Tuesday, and today's chat is about your relationship with exercise and movement. I often hear people say that they love yoga class or they have a type of fitness that they like or movement that they like, but often they find it very hard to commit to going to it. For example, you may go to a yoga class and you feel fantastic after the class is over and you have this internal dialogue and feeling that you want to begin attending regularly. However, it seems like amnesia happens in a few days because suddenly you get so busy with life that no longer takes the priority, that we forget how good we felt and how much we really wanted to change. Why? Because our subconscious beliefs, our subconscious programming, our habitual patterns tend to take over. And that's generally because we are in stress response most of the day. Most of us are experiencing chronic stress levels that we've become so adapted to that we are unaware of them. Little things like noticing how shallow your breathing is. Noticing, are you taking the time to transition from one task to the next task? Are you allowing yourself to take a couple of deep breaths? Are you allowing yourself to peel away from your screen? Are you allowing yourself to do one thing at a time? Because I know most of us tend to be scrolling on the phone while we're watching TV or while we're in a meeting, and we have a really hard time doing one thing at a time. This chronic stress level that we have ourselves in is causing us to be in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. And when we're in that mode, it's very difficult to choose new behaviors, better behaviors, and make more conscious decisions than rather than reverting back to what our norm is. Now, those habits are there for a reason. Those habits are there to help us not have to think about things. And so it does take time to rewrite those habits. So the effort really needs to be in managing the stress in order to change the habits. So managing the stress in order to change the habits. Just like if you were wanting to wake up earlier in the morning, the effort wouldn't be waking up earlier in the morning. The effort would be at getting to bed on time to make sure you're rested, noticing and identifying those problem areas. But let's get back to your relationship with exercise and movement. When we talk about those subconscious beliefs that could be there, a lot of times we're thinking about the connotations, the visuals, and the past experiences that we have with that word exercise. Now, for some of us, it might be PE class at school that we tried to avoid. It was uncomfortable. We felt awkward in our bodies. And so we're wanting to avoid that because that's what that word exercise triggers for us. And instead, start to even change your vocabulary. Maybe it's, I need to go to the gym to release. I need to go to the gym to get my movement in, instead of using those triggering words, because it's really hard to rewire our connotation with that word. Best ways to do that would be something like hypnosis or hypnotherapy, which there are plenty of hypnosis recordings on YouTube. However, to get a customized version where you actually go through the therapeutic process of rewiring that and then reinforcing it would be hypnotherapy. In that being, what is exercise? What is movement? Most of the time, what we should be doing with exercise and movement is to reinforce the movement patterns that we want to have or we want to create. I used to say all the time, the best movements to do every day are the movements that you want to be doing when you're 80 and 90 years old. Reaching up over your head, touching towards your toes, exercises like You were going to put on your shoes or squat down, twisting for when you're in the restroom. These these movements are extremely important to make sure that we still have them available. I've heard some people say that they've came to yoga class or came to exercise class because they realized when they were driving and they were going to look over their shoulder, they were having a harder time looking over their shoulder. So, noticing what movements, what do you want to be able to do with your body that you want to start coercing yourself into those movement patterns, or you'd like to keep those movement patterns. And this is where I promote yoga a lot because the sun salutation in itself, whether you're doing it standing, modified, or in a chair, uses those same movements. Every yoga class should have a reaching up, a reaching down, a forward bend, a backward bend, and some twisting. Now, if you have back issues, which many of you might know that or know me from teaching yoga for back health, that there are modifications for all of this. So notice the excuses that come up for you. Notice the resistance that comes up for you when you are looking to have a better quality of life in your physical body. Now, today we're just talking about the physical component, but exercise is even more powerful for your mind and for your energy. And so let's talk about that next time. But really, today, be thinking about how you need exercise and movement for your physical health.